Well, hello, my lovelies. It's Murky Meg here. It's Tuesday, the 6th of September. What a glorious day today is. It may be raining, but guess what? They got booed. I'm sorry, that's really, really petty. But they got booed. And there was over 100 protesters in Manchester last night. So proud. My heart is literally glowing. There was actually protesters outside the concert hall yesterday. One having a sign that said... F.O. Harry, me again, fake royals. It's better than the Charlotte and Duchess in New York, isn't it? Brilliant. Brilliant. Now, before I knew that they got booed, I saw that they'd entered the concert hall and Harry looked like he had a face of thunder. And I thought, something's not quite right. Of course, Meghan plastered the smile, but no, now I found out that they got booed. They actually got booed. The demonstrators gathered outside the One Young World Summit as they were driven 200 yards from a £500 a room hotel to the youth gala in Manchester Bridgewater's Hall, apparently. They got out of their cars, onlookers booed and waved anti-royal placards at the couple. One protester was seen holding a sign that read, F.O. Harry and Meghan fake royals, and one woman accused Meghan of being a liar and a hypocrite and of launching an attack on the royal family. Janet from Manchester said she's a fake humanitarian and a fake feminist. She's a social climber. She thought she could be a celebrity in the royal family. She's the most toxic, divisive woman I have ever heard of in my life. The Queen has been on the throne for 70 years and she's had to put up with this trouble. Meghan has used every card she can. Racism, mental health, feminism. She's not a feminist, she's just a hypocrite. Would they have been able to hear the boos? Very much so. Apparently one royal commentator said the couple climbed out of their car. Many in the 100-strong crowd booed from behind the barrier just yards away, with onlookers saying it was so loud there was no doubt they would have heard. Another demonstrator added it was odd. The whole speech was about herself, but that is Meghan. And this is true. She referenced herself 54 times in a 7-minute speech, and she has been accused of making a speech that focused just about me. Now, she was supposed to be addressing the issue of gender equality. She only referenced gender equality once. Instead, she gushed about her husband and the life-changing impact of becoming a mother to Archie. Where's Lilibet? I don't know. And told the event it was very nice to be back in the UK. Not after the booze, I suspect, hey? At one point, she said, in many ways, I was probably like a lot of you. I was young, ambitious, and declared they must seize the moment and not be crippled by self-doubt. Sarah Vine, who has been very, very open about her distaste for Meghan, wrote in the Daily Mail, poised, smiling, she took to the podium to tell the audience all about Meghan. It's hard to sound truly modest when you're just talking about yourself. She spoke about how she'd been involved with the organisation since 2014 and how humbled and in awe and nervous she felt about being in such incredible company. Of course, never one to shy away from the Meghan drama was Piers Morgan, who said, who the F does Meghan Markle think she is coming back here to preach after all the vile manure that she flung at the UK? In his article, he says that Meghan Markle is back in Britain, fronting a summit about equality and poverty. I've no idea what she actually said in her opening address in Manchester last night because I don't care, and nor should you. He continues, even by her standards, it's staggeringly stupendous, preposterously absurd for a woman who married a multi-millionaire prince, gave up her job, and now lives entirely off the gargantuan proceeds of his royal status that she ruthlessly fleeces to the highest bidder to be involved in lecturing anybody about poverty and equality. And that just sums it up, isn't it? Poverty and equality. Granted, equality, yes, she may have some experience. Everybody has experience on equality. But what makes her the oracle of poverty and equality? Apparently they weren't paid for this event. But knowing Harry and Meghan, they will be getting their money from somewhere. And I do find it rather tone deaf that a summit that was £1,000 per day for a 3-day event that doesn't cover hotels and travel. So, £4,000 possibly, if you wanted to go there, was preaching about poverty and equality. That doesn't quite sit well with me. And funnily enough, another theme of the summit that was going on in Manchester was titled Conflict Prevention. That's right, conflict prevention. Coming from these two, they really are experts in that one, aren't they? Perhaps they could have spoken about that. So there's 2 silver linings to this. The first was the protesters and the booing. The second is the fact that predominantly all the major papers in the UK just didn't reference them at all because we had a new Prime Minister yesterday. It was all about that. So they didn't get the column inches that they so desired. And in fact, a lot of the column inches that they had were quite scathing of the couple and predominantly focused on the booing and the fact that Meghan referenced herself 54 times. 54 times! Normally, this would be headline on the front pages, but she got sidebarred. So they were there, but they weren't headline. It was Liz Truss that was the headline. The Sun, red alert, Meg's back. Normally, the Daily Star would give them a bit of a tweak and a bit of a side eye and a cheeky little thing. Nothing. Not even on their front pages. Daily Express, again, nothing. Independent, nothing. Daily Mail, nothing. The Guardian, nothing. Kind of getting a pattern here. Finally and foremost, Daily Mirror, nothing. So really, she only got on the front page of The Suns, and that was a sidebar, wasn't it? Oh, I do beg your pardon. She got on the Metro, which is predominantly a free paper that you get on the bus. Of course, it's being held in their camp and the pro-Meghan supporters, I won't give you their real name, as a success. And everybody was there and it was amazing. You do actually realise that irrelevant of whether Meghan Markle was there, those people would have been there anyway. So whether she was giving a speech or not, they would have been at the summit. So it doesn't really matter that it was 2,000, 3,000 people in the audience clapping her along. That's called being polite. I would also like to note that as soon as her address was over, off they popped. They left the event. They didn't hang around. So today they're in Dusseldorf for the Invictus Games. Apparently, Germany have said no to stumping up the cash for their security, so they're going to have to fund it themselves as well. And they've set up roadblocks in Dusseldorf to stop Harry and Meghan and their own doctor being stuck in traffic, as authorities refuse the couple's police escort for private event, with Duke and Duchess paying for bodyguards themselves. Apparently, they will cruise along the Rhine in a £13 million yacht. How the other half live, hey? So much for poverty and equality. Apparently, officials in Dusseldorf have set up roadblocks along the 3-mile route from the airport to the city centre to allow the convoy of vehicles transporting the Duke and Duchess to avoid being stuck in traffic. Well, at least they didn't have to get the train, which is how they got to Manchester. But because it's a private visit, there'll be no police and motorcycle outriders, and accompanying police cars will not turn on their flashing blue lights. But the source said that a vehicle carrying a doctor and a medical equipment will be part of the convoy for the drive into the city. That's right. So from the airport to the city centre, they need a doctor. Okay. A source for the city of Dusseldorf told the Daily Mail, of course this is a private visit, but we do not want anything to go wrong or for there to be an incident. We are showcasing the city. They will have their own security teams, but the police area being consulted and will be involved. We are hosts for the Invictus Games and we want everything to run very smoothly. There have been lots of consultations and plans have changed, but we are confident it will be a trouble-free visit. All fun and games in the Harry and Meghan camp, hey? But let's not forget, they were booed! My final thought is the fact that she spoke at a Young Leader Summit. She's neither young nor a leader. So I would love to know your thoughts on this. Do you think that we should be very proud of Manchester right now and those 100-strong protesters that booed them? Should they have done it? Would they have heard? Why on earth did they suddenly flee straight afterwards? Why didn't they stay around? Or were they just purely there for that gig and off they went back to their hotel? What do you think the reception's going to be in Germany? And finally, What do you think of her referencing herself 54 times in a 7-minute speech? Surely that's got to be one of her records. As always, I would love to know your thoughts. Thank you very much for watching. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, hit the notification bell, and also that like button. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank all of my followers for all the tips and all the emails, DMs that everybody sends to me. It really is greatly appreciated. So thank you very much for watching once again.